Forms the black with the gold and white trim. Brent Anderson has it teed up. And a couple of receivers back deep for the Owls in the end zone, right on the goal line. Down to our right there, wearing the traveling gold pants with the white jerseys and the maroon numbers on the back. A bouncing kick picked up at the 15. They head over the right side of the 20, still spinning up forward across the 20, close to the 24-yard line, and that's where Oregon Tech will. And this, of course, will put the Aleut defensive backfield to the test. And the center, Aaron Alliser, has the ball at the 24. First down for Oregon Tech from the 24. Again, moving right to left, single setback, quick pitch out to the left side. A cut inside the defender across the 30 to the and 4 yards for the first. The ball resting at the hash mark, left side. Keith Blackmore is the quarterback. Again, the lone setback, trips to the right side of the field, the wide side, lone receiver to the left side. Blackmore drops back, quick pitch over the middle. Receiver has the ball at the 40, dragged down from behind by Limp. And triple receivers to the right side, the wide side of the field. It is first down and 10 for Oregon Tech, their first drive of the ball game. We're just underway from Sparks Stadium here in Puyallup. Blackmore rolls right, hands back, up the middle. Ball dropped on the ground. I think they're going to blow this one dead. The beanbag is down. To go, no score. Receivers left and right of the formation. Two others will flank the formation as wings. Lone setback behind the quarterback. Keith Blackmore, straight drop, now a little roll to his right, has the back out of the backfield, slanting over the right side across the 40 up to the defense. Troy Bross, Rusty Fritsch, Rich Anderson, Brody Loy. Now Hilliker in there as an extra defensive back linebacker as they send triple receivers to the left of the formation, the wide side of the field. Again, Blackmore under center with a lone setback behind him. Straight drop. Now he'll head up the middle, gets out of the grasp of one defender at the line of scrimmage and sprints forward up to the 40. The Owls to punt, and much like Linfield did, no huddle, just get the punter into the ball game. He will drop back to his own 32-yard line. The snap, the kick is on the way. This one's coming to the near sideline off the hands of Riddle. Riddle at the 20, and Barnett has to cover for him. Again, a problem that the Lutes had last week was handling punts. No score, Lutes and Owls. From Sparks Stadium, Tom Morning along with Mike Larson. First and 10, ball at the left hash mark. Three receivers to the short side of the field. Blackmore rolling in the backfield. Now he straightens up, throws to the end zone, has a receiver wide open, in and out of. Wind up, setting up wide left, right of the formation. A receiver in a slot left. Now a man in motion through the backfield to the right side. Blackmore rolling to the right. A couple of Lute linebackers falling, bang into each other in the backfield. The ball. Greg Goodman comes to the Lute sideline. He's a little bit hurt. Looks like he's grabbing the back of his left leg, maybe a hamstring problem there. Meanwhile, a quick pass into the flat right side, duking his way through the backfield, but he can't escape. A 40-yard attempt is up, and it is good. Derek Eberhardt, 3, the Lutes nothing. We will take a. Riddle approaches the football. A kick is a line drive straight down the middle. Riddle will come up, and he can't handle this one. Has to go back, pick it up at the 15. Heads upfield, has some blocking, still on his feet up across the 25-yard line, and that's where the Lutes.
How to react, what's going on, and we'll see if they can do that this afternoon.
First and 10 for the Lutes. The ball at their own 25, moving left to right. Mark Weekly, the sophomore quarterback, has the team up to the line of scrimmage. The ball hash mark left, hand off. They'll go straight over left tackle, and this is Barber.
Twice on the first two possessions is certainly not something they want to do.
Mike Wilson comes to the left of the formation, the wide side of the field. Blackmore, a problem with his helmet or something as he hit and 10 at the 28-yard line of PLU. Once again, Wilson will come to the wide side of the field. Triple receivers to the left side, the wide side. One receiver to the short side on the right. Lone setback behind Blackmore, the quarterback. On first down, he will drop and now roll to his left. Looking into the end zone, floats one up there high. Defenders are there, almost intercepted. Once again, he will break from the huddle and come left of the formation, the wide side of the field, with two other receivers. Fuentes is one. They'll hand it off straight up the middle, trying to find a hole in that Lute front line, but no luck that time. Too much out of this run and shoot offense. Once again, it is Wilson coming to flank the formation to the left side, then the wide side. The ball actually sitting down in the middle of the field. Lone setback is Fox. Blackmore will step back. Little shovel pass to Fuentes. Fuentes over the right side. Doesn't get much. A couple of yards. Kick a line drive. This one is good. Right to receive the kick. Riddle has fumbled a couple of times on one on a punt and one on a kick. It's a squibber. Gets through the hands of the up man. Picked up, though, and heading upfield to the 40-yard line on a pretty good return for the Lutes is a pretty good defensive hit. Here's Barnett, who just stayed in after that return. He will flank the formation to the right side. We have receivers right and left with a lone setback. Barber behind the quarterback, Weekly. Weekly gets the snap. He'll hand off. Barber up the middle. Big hole straight up field up to the 50-yard line. A pickup up. Second down and 2. The ball just short of the 50-yard line. The Lutes again moving left to right. Backs are split behind the quarterback, Weekly. Richardson at a wing left of the formation. Double tied in. Weekly awaiting the snap as Richardson will come towards the near side in motion. Hand off. This one goes straight up to Barnett. Barnett inside OIT territory at the 49-yard line. They need to get to the 48. Two backs behind the quarterback, Weekly. Weekly is going to call for a timeout. He got underneath the second of scoring so far in a ball game as we've reached about the midway point of the first quarter. We're set to go. The Lutes will put three backs behind the quarterback, Weekly. Barber, the fullback, is the front man, and they're going to pass out of this one. He drops straight back. He floats a pass out to his tight end, Ingman. Ingman has it down the sideline, the 20, the 15, the 10. He stumbles forward inside the 5-yard line.
Fumble on about the 7.
It's a loss of 3 on the play, and the Lutes will send trips to the left side of the formation. 3 wide receivers to the short side of the field. Now Barnett comes back in motion. He'll head upfield. Weekly's going to throw it up to the tight end. He has it into the end zone. He dropped the football, but he crossed the goal line. It is a touchdown. That is the signal from the official. He broke the plane, and that.
But the official kept the touchdown signal up and ruled that the contact with the ground actually forced the fumble, which obviously can't happen.
Brett Anderson now in for the extra point attempt out of the hold of Mark Weekly. And the snap, the kick is up, and this is definitely good. It's right through the up. Oregon Tech 6. We'll be back. Turnovers by Oregon Tech, and the Lutes just taking it in there for 6. And the extra point by Anderson gives them the lead at 7-6. And then Anderson booms one into the deep back of the end zone. And no way they're going to take this one back. Fox will need
Doug Burton for the touchdown.
So Oregon Tech will have the ball offensively for the 3rd time in this ball game, but this is the worst field position they have had to start a drive. It's their own 20-yard line. Again, Blackmore is the quarterback with a lone setback. Fox behind him. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. He'll throw it to the right side. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Major independent bank left around here. Puget Sound Bank with over 40 Pierce County locations to serve you. That's Puget Sound Bank, Century 2, Luke football backers. 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers to the left side of the formation. Again, Fox is the lone setback. Blackmore will roll a little bit, step to his right, throws, has Airley, the receiver, cuts back across the grain, getting chased, and he is hog-tied and surrounded by a host of Luke defenders. Our touchdown to his credit against Central Washington, the only points that they were able to put up on the board last week against the Wildcats. Here it is, 3rd and 10. 3 receivers to the right side. Ed Jones, senior defensive end, smart enough to know when the offensive player moves. Monte Walton. It is 3rd down and 15 following the 5-yard penalty. The ball is back at the 15-yard line. They need to make to the 30 for the 1st down. The ball at the hash mark left. Again, 3 receivers to the right side. Break up in the backfield. A misplay there, and Blackmore's going to have to eat it a couple yards deep into his own end zone. Chad Barnett is resting at the PLU 45, waiting the punt. It's a line drive. It's going to take a bounce in front of him. He'll pick it up at the 50 to the 45. Side steps, trying to get to the sideline to the near side, around the corner at the 40, down the sideline, and stepped out of bounds up near the 30, actually the 35, so they'll move it back to midfield. It'll be 5 minutes remaining here. Scrimmage, Mark Weekly follows him, the quarterback. 2 backs split with receivers left and right of the formation. Weekly barking out the signals to his flanking receivers. Hands off in the backfield. Barnett sweeping to the left side, gets around the block, and he heads upfield across the 45, still on his feet down to the 40, approximately 6 yards for Barnett, who now comes out of the huddle and will flank the formation to the right side. Ball resting on the hash mark left. Now Richardson in motion to the near side. He'll get the pass. It's short, but he picks it off his shoestrings and heads upfield after getting a nice block on the play by the head coach.
7-yard line.
Barnett again goes wide left. Richardson to the left, I should say. It's Richardson left and Barnett right as Weekly draws back, getting pressure straight up the middle. Now he'll roll out to his right, throws downfield, has Barnett into the end zone. Touchdown, Lutes! Caught it at the 1 and went into the end zone with a defender.
2 quick scores by the Owls and are set to make it 14 if Anderson can convert the point after.
Clarence Williams, the defensive lineman for Oregon Tech, forced Weekly out of the pocket. He rolled to his left and found Barnett streaking across the field. 37-yard pass and catch for 6. Meanwhile, Anderson is perfect again to right. Fox awaiting that kick in the end zone. It'll bounce at the 10. Coming up across the 10 to the 15, the 20, and bang down at the 20-yard line. This Lutz special teams was right there to put Jason Teal in there along the defensive line for the Lutz. Remember, John Falavolito is out with a knee injury. 1st and 10, 3 receivers to the left of the formation, the wide side. Blackmore will roll, take a few steps. Now he throws down the sideline, receiver streaking down there. It's intercepted by Anderson. Anderson at the 45, across midfield to the 40, heads to the far sideline, and he tripped and fell the closest to it, and he picked it off and returns it about 15 yards. So the Lutz will have it 1st and 10 from the Oregon Tech 38-yard line. Weekly again with split backs. Now Anderson out of the backfield in motion to the near side. He'll hand it off Barber. Barber over the left side. Big hole. Cuts his way up through a couple of defenders across the 40. It's from the huddle, and he will line up wide right. Ball at the left hash mark. Back split behind the quarterback Weekly, calling out signals. He'll drop straight back. Little sneak as they hand it off to Barber. That wraparound play that you like so well, Mike.
Because the Lutz are running very successfully on the ground and through the air.
1 minute, 48 seconds remaining here in the first quarter as Richardson in motion to the near side out of the backfield. Weekly will roll to his right. Looking, throws, has Richardson down at the 12-yard line, makes the catch as he leaps into the Weekly. I don't know if he's thrown an incomplete pass yet this half.
He's 5 for 5 unofficially for 107 yards, so off to a great start today.
Richardson in motion, right to left. Little reverse on the play. He gets the handoff from Barnett. Richardson across the 10. Weekly.
Actually.
2nd down and 5. The Lutz with 23 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We'll get at least one more play off before the whistle sounds. Weekly with some last-minute instructions to his backs. Barnett and Barber behind him. He'll give it. No, it's a fake to Barnett. Now he's looking in the end zone. Back of the end zone. Touchdown! Lutz! Doug Burton with a nice diving catch in the corner of the end zone near side.
And we still have a lot of game left.
A new holder in there. Weekly is on the sidelines. Carl Hoseth will hold, but the same results as the first two. The last 3 possessions before we go on. Let's afternoon against Oregon Tech. He just felt it would be a little bit of time before they got in sync. They have finally done so as Anderson booms another one into the end zone. Fox will take it another 9 yards deep, and he'll down.
It's wild to take it out, so they're going to have to start on their 20 again.
I'm sure Anderson would like the opportunity that Derek Eberhardt has had for Oregon Tech to boom a couple of 40-yard field goals. Lone setback, Fox behind the quarterback Blackmore. He'll get it, and he stood up in the backfield and driven back. I see 3 Lutz 210-pounders. Back to Spark Stadium and quickly back to action. Oregon Tech 1st and 10 from their 20. Blackmore drops back, throws out into the flat, has a receiver open at the 27, up to the 29. Picked across the 30. They're about half a yard short of the first down here as Airley will come wide of the formation to the right side. 2 receivers left as they now send Fuentes in the backfield in motion. They'll hand it off to him. He'll head upfield trying to slant over the right side, and the Lutz push him back, but I believe his forward progress
good enough for the.
He spotted Tech a 6-0 lead on a couple of field goals following PLU turnovers, but have stormed back with touchdown passes on their last 3 possessions. Fuentes in motion to the near side of the field as Blackmore drops back looking for Fuentes, cutting across the field, makes a catch up at the 40, across the 40, the 45, and waiting. Anderson, one of the safeties for PLU, giving some instructions to his linebackers and his other defensive backs, and we're ready to go. And now another timeout is going to be called on the.
To be impatient like they were last time, but seems that's what they're doing this drive. More short outs and a run here and there.
Ball sitting at the hash mark, right side. Blackmore, the quarterback, lone setback Fox. Quick hitter over the middle, and it was intended for Fuentes. For us, 2nd down and 10. Fuentes in a slot left of the formation. 2 receivers to the right side, the short side of the field. And Blackmore will drop back. Getting pressure by Jolly, sprints away from Jolly. Now he throws on the run, has a receiver. Fuentes, I believe, down at the 33-yard line. Makes a cut. Finally has been somewhat quiet as he will come out of the formation, be one of 3 receivers who will line up to the wide side of the field, the right side, with Fuentes in a slot. Blackmore, short drop, throwing, intercept. Oh, almost intercepted. 12:37 to go here in the first half. Receivers, 2 each to the left and right of the formation. Lone setback once again is Fox behind the quarterback, Blackmore. Ball sitting at the hash mark left side. Blackmore will roll right, throws over the middle, has Early. Early hit immediately as he makes the reception by Anderson.
Hit afterwards.
Much like Linfield last week, we may see 2 quarterbacks. Aaron Hall played some last week against Central for OIT. This is Akoff in motion. Quick pitch over the middle, receiver open, touchdown, Oregon Tech. Because Coach Howard has decided he will play for 2 points right here. Early will line up wide to the right side of the formation. Fuentes in motion to the near side. Blackmore rolling pressure from the backside. He escapes one, gets away from another, dives into the end zone. He gets it, 2 points on the convert. And now Everhard will have it teed up down to our left at his 35, a high kick. Coming up is Hudson, has it at the 22, heading up the left side across the 30 to the 32 before he's finally. Again, Brian Flatham, the center for the Lutes, brings the offensive line up to the line of scrimmage. Weekly with 2 backs set behind him, split. Richardson, the receiver, to the right of the formation, the wide side of the field. Weekly pitches right to Barnett, cuts inside, gets a good block, heads upfield across the 30, across the 35, bangs his way across the 37 and out of bounds into the Oregon Tech. Probably didn't want to have to see both of them, or at least if he did, not as a result of an injury. That kind of depletes that defense, that offensive line for the Lutes. It's a gain of 5. It's 2nd down and 5. The Lutes line up with 2 backs split behind the quarterback Weekly. The receiver will line up left of the formation. The handoff goes up the middle to Barber, kind of stepped over 1 down defenseman and gets forward for the first down up to the 40. He'll send Barnett out, flanking the formation to the left side, the wide side of the field. Another receiver across the field from us. The short side with a back split behind Weekly. Gives it 2nd man 2. And it may be another fumble on the play. Richardson was the ball carrier, and the official's initial signal. And Burton will both go to the short side of the field, the right side, with back split behind the quarterback. Weekly under center, quick snap, drops back, getting some pressure. He'll throw over the middle. Richardson crossing the midfield and gets up across to the short side of the field. Left side now goes in motion left to right. Burton lined up wide right. Weekly will roll to his right, gets a block in the backfield by Barber. Looking, gets surrounded, still on his feet, rolling back, rolling. Now he's going to throw it as he's hit, and it's almost caught. A flag flies. We may have interference. Linebacker for Oregon Tech. Pull to his right, and then the play broke down, and he was rolling left and right. And they're going to pick up the flag and say no interference on the play. So it's the first punt of the ball game for the Lutes. Weekly, a great average last week of about 44 yards, and he will punt it down to Fuente. Have for you here. So here it is, 1st and 10 from their own 18, moving left to right. Oregon Tech trailing by a touchdown. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right, and a man in motion. Acuff goes left to right. Here's the short pass intended for Fuentes. Has it as 20, spins around Hilliker, the defender, and then Benedict has to come in, gets a little help.
For 74 yards.
So it's 2nd and short, 2nd and 1. Fox is the lone setback behind his quarterback, Blackmore. Fuentes in motion from the far to the near side of the field. Blackmore's going to drop back, pressure from the backside, gets the pass off for Fuentes, in and out of his hands, incomplete. They may opt to do what they just did and throw the ball again. Early will break from the huddle, and he will come wide right to the wide side of the field. Fuentes is left. Now he comes in motion, left to right. Blackmore will drop, rolls to his right, looking for Fuentes, has the reception up at the 40, tripped up and dropped down just across the 40 to
the Lutes. Maybe Fuentes is the favorite receiver of Blackmore.
8:20 and counting before half. Oregon Tech now feeling comfortable with that offense here. They've been clicking on the last couple of drives. The Lutes looking blitz. Here they come. Shovel pass upfield to Fuentes. Has room in front of him and a blocker, and a great play by Rusty Fritsch. He just dove into the ball.
Receiver Fuentes for actually about a yard loss or half-yard loss.
So it is a loss on the play, so it'll bring up 2nd and a short 11 for Oregon Tech. Again, Fox is the lone setback. Trips to the right side of the field. Blackmore, straight drop, pressure again, throws over the middle, has a receiver Acuff across the 45 to the 47-yard mark of our set. And they have the ball back here, trying to at least tie this ball game up. Receivers left and right, Fuentes in motion, left to right. Blackmore drops straight back. pump. Now he rolls right, going to air one out down the sideline, looking for his receiver. This is Airley. Airley makes the reception at the 5, in and out of his hand.
But I'm really not sure that was the best option for him on that particular play, because Airley, like you said, had to almost come.
Receiver out of Scotland. So here to punt the ball away is Blackmore. He's back at his own 18-yard line. He gets the punt away, a high kick, floating down, and a fair catch called for by Barnett at his own 37-yard line, and the Lutes will take over here offensively. To the Lute sideline down below us. They'll send 2 receivers to the right side of the formation, and a procedure penalty.
So congratulations to Frosty.
So here we are, 1st and 15 for the Lutes. Barnett, who lined up to the left of the formation, was in motion, and now Weekly's going to pick it up himself, trying to get away from his own fullback Barber, and kind of jukes and jives his way up across the 30. The 30 will 21-14. Pacific Lutheran on top. Engman will break from the huddle. He'll wind up as a receiver left of the formation, the wide side of the field. Now Barnett in motion, right to left. Weekly on the roll to his left. Now he throws downfield, has his tight end Barnett stepping in front, intercepting the football and stepping out of bounds. They didn't mark it. I thought his foot was out. And Tech has been able to capitalize on at least 2 of them with a couple of field goals. Let's see how they do it on this drive. Blackmore drops straight back, and he breaks away from the oncoming rush. Now on his own, he's going to sprint down the sideline, gets away from the line, and now they're going to have to check his ankle. And Larson will come in, or check that, yeah. Trevor White will come in to play defensive back for PLU in his stead. 1st and 10, the ball is just short of the 25-yard line. Blackmore throws over the middle, has a receiver open, he threw it behind the intended throw. 14, PLU on top. But another turnover by the Lutes has given Oregon Tech great field position. They have moved the ball now down to the Lute 25-yard line. They face 2nd down and 10. Receivers left and right of the formation. Airley to the short side, the right side. Here's a pass intended for and taken away. Intended for Wilson and taken away by the Lute.
Cody Loy, what a...
With his 2nd of the season, he returned one 40 yards for a touchdown, the only touchdown the Lutes had last week against Linfield. Option play by quarterback Weekly. He'll hand off. The ball carrier popped up quickly on that play. They got 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Back split, receivers left and right. Weekly on the option, will take it himself. Rolling right, gets up close to the 20. Barnett will line up left of the formation to the wide side of the field. Backs once again will be split behind the quarterback Weekly, who does a straight drop, throws over the middle, has Engman. It's in and out of his hands, and he dives backwards to try to get the loose ball. And time for Engman to come down with. So it's 4th down, and Weekly will have to drop back into punting formation. He'll rest at his own 5, awaiting the snap. Fuentes is back at his own 35, awaiting the football. Here it is, a high kick. Fuentes is going to call for another fair catch at the near sideline and makes the catch at the 41-yard line. 1st and 10, the ball at their own 41. Hash mark right. 2 receivers to the short side of the field, 1 to the wide side. Now Acuff in formation, moves in motion, right to left, dropping straight back. The quarterback Blackmore gets triple teamed in the backfield. Wilson breaks from the huddle. He will wind up wide left of the formation. Here's Acuff in motion, right to left. Airley to the near side, the short side of the field. Blackburn is going to drop straight back, Blackmore I should say, and down he goes one more time. So here comes a big 3rd down play for Oregon Tech. They'll send receivers 2 each, left and right of the formation. Wilson in a slot to the left side. They'll head straight up the field. Blackmore will roll out of the pocket to his left, looking for Fuentes, and it's over his head, out of bounds into the Oregon Tech side, his own 40-yard line to receive the punt. Rusty Fritz, the short man, up at midfield. The Lutes would like to get this ball back with 2.5 to go before halftime, put some more points on the board. Here's a snap, a line drive kick on a bounce. Barnett is going to take it at his own 40, try to get away from the defender, but he can't do it. Good play there by Randy Pett at the room.
Weekly, after hitting on his first 7 passes, has missed his last 3, and if the Lutes are going to get down in field goal range, we may have to see Mark throw the ball. We'll see what happens.
1st and 10, Barnett was in motion, left to right. Weekly will roll to his right. Now he sets up, throws across the grain of the field, has a receiver. Engman makes the catch down at the 35. The clock conserves a Lute timeout. Burton and Richardson will line up right of the formation to the wide side of the field. Backs are split. Now Richardson comes in motion, and they'll hand it off to Barnett on the counter play. Across the 30, cuts his way back to the 25, and finally knocked down.
6 yards worth of running room at the line of scrimmage and picked up another 10 or 11 on his own after he got past the line of scrimmage. Nice play.
And the Lutes will use some clock management here, use as much of that as that clock as they can as they try to score. Almost a fumbled snap, but Weekly comes up with it, hands it off to Barber. He tries the left side and drags a tackle. It is a personal foul, late hit, I'm sure, coming up here. Weekly brings the team up to the line of scrimmage. They'll go with that full house backfield. Richardson, Barber, and Barnett fake it to Richardson. Turn around, throw the corner of the end zone. Diving reception, touchdown Ingman. The Lutes score again, and they take one interception on the day, but he's been just about perfect other than that. And I guess if you say that they caught the interception, he's still perfect. Here's the snap. We get whistles. Movement all along the line. I'll hear from the official. Procedure against the Lutes will move early in the ball game. Then we saw Carl Hoseth on the last touchdown. We can't see the number right now on the holder. And a bad snap rolls. It's Hoseth. He's going to have to keep it himself. Looking, he's got his tight end. 2-point conversion. Burton.
So we picked it up and rolled left, and Burton was right there. And
Fox and to Peterson, who are down at the goal line, down to our left. Here's the kick, line drive. This one won't get into the end zone. Peterson will take it at his own 4. On the near side, head straight up the midfield, and he gets collared at the 18-yard line. Who's on the bottom of that pile?
There's time enough for maybe Oregon Tech to get some points on the board, but you're right. The clock management ideally would have used more clock.
1st and 10 from their own 18. Blackmore, quick sliding pass to Wilson. Wilson tried to duke around a defender, but they weren't buying it that time.
And you're right, the cushions at that.
Wilson, the receiver that time, is only 5'8" and 150 pounds. He's a freshman out of Hawaii. Here's Fuentes in motion to the near side of the field. Blackmore will drop straight back, looking. Now he'll roll, throws it to Fuentes on the near sideline. Fuentes gets double teamed, then driven into the Lute sideline. With the tackle, Ed Jolly has now come to the sideline. He's limping a little bit. Brady Yount will take his place. As we see Ed Jolly take a seat on the bench down below us. Yount, 2-step drop, getting pressure. Now he'll try to roll. Rolls to the right. Fagan chasing him. Still chasing him. Blackmore escapes. Now he runs into Benedict, and Benedict up and counting. They quickly, without the huddle, get up to the line of scrimmage. Blackmore shouting out instructions as receivers left and right with Acup in a slot right. Quick slant over the middle, intended for Wilson, and it was 2. Oregon Tech, as they are going to punt now. It is 4th and 6, so almost kind of lost track of what down it was. Blackmore back. They come in, they block the kick. It's bouncing loose on the field. Blackmore chasing Brody Loyer. Check that, Troy Bross down there. Recovered by the Lutes at the 5 with 4 extended. And now with 14 seconds remaining, Weekly has his team up to the line of scrimmage. He'll drop straight back. Looking into the back of the end zone. Now he throws. Touchdown, Lutes! Kevin Ingman with his 2nd consecutive touchdown pass. Look, one tackle. We got to check who the other tackle is because it was Coleman at one point in there for Linnerud, but Coleman, I think, got hurt, and he was out for a play or two. We'll see who was in, but they're all doing a great job. The extra point attempt is on its way by Anderson. It's up. Lutheran on top, and we'll be back after this 30-second, and we are only through one half of football. Anderson has it teed up, a line drive kick down the middle of the field. Fox has it at his own 2. He'll head to the near sideline, across the 15 to the 20, on his feet, and then upended as he crossed the 25. Fast plane out of town. Bank with the only locally owned major independent bank left around here, Puget Sound Bank. 2 seconds remaining, and movement along the offside for Oregon Tech.
And it looks as if Aaron Lenchenko, the line.
This much. They have all the receivers up close to the line of scrimmage. They're just going to down this one. And that'll last week against the kicking off. Hudson is back deep for Pacific Lutheran at his own 10-yard line. Fields it at the hash mark, right side. Heads straight upfield across the 20, the 25. Gets to the sideline, across the 30 to the 35. And he's gang tackled there as he crosses the 35 up to the 37-yard line. And a flag down on the play. That's a 27-yard return. We'll check out the flag now. And we had earlier in this ball game, back in the first half, a clip on a nice return on a punt by the Lutes. Let's check this one out.
Guriel Hudson showing his speed on that play, and in the springtime, we might add, Guriel is a
pretty good field position to start the second half as Barnett will come wide to the left side of the formation, and a receiver to the short side, the right side, with 2 backs behind the quarterback. Option play. Weekly will fake to Richardson, keep it himself as he strings it out, and then and Joe Osling, the defensive end, on the right side. Two backs behind the quarterback as they send Richardson in motion through the formation to the far side. Weekly will drop straight back. Plenty of protection. Throws deep down the far sideline. Kind of hangs this one up, and it's intercepted and knocked away.
The ball traveled about
The 40 to the 40. Actually, up to the 48 of Oregon Tech. They'll run it up the middle to Barnett. A couple of nice moves, and then finally brought down from behind as he gets it up close to the second half. And they will bring in the punting unit, and this time it'll be Rusty Fritsch who will do the honors, taking over for Mark Weekly. Fritsch gets the snap, a high kick, rather short, heading toward the sidelines. It'll bounce and go out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. We'll see the stretcher and into an ambulance. They probably went to the hospital to get some x-rays, and just precautionary. He's replaced by Trevor White. Here's the pass intended for Fuentes. As 5 foot.
Going into this game, 5 rushing yards is certainly an indication of how ineffective they have been on the ground.
Last week they only were able to pick up 6 yards on the ground against Central Washington in their season opener. Here's Blackmore dropping back, getting pressure by Fagan in the end, escapes from him, gets a nice block, heads up the sideline, the 40, 42, sprints away from 3 linebackers, and guess who? Fagan from the backside. Third quarter, the Lutes lead it 36-14. Blackmore will send 2 receivers to the left of the formation, Acuff and Fuentes. Fuentes in a slot left, short side of the field. We have Airley. Movement by the Lutes. Jolly, Wilson, the receiver, will flank the formation wide to the left, the wide side of the field. Airley to the short side. In motion, this is Acuff. The slot back is Fuentes. Blackmore will take the snap, roll to his left. He's going to tuck under, try to head upfield himself, and he's going to be dropped for a loss on the play. Robinson is in there, and someone else from the backside. And again, that no huddle situation. Just bring the punter in, who is the quarterback, get into punt formation and get the kick off. Barnett is back to receive the kick at the Lute 20-yard line, down to our right. It's a fake punt. Blackmore's going to keep it. Rolling out to his right. Hitting the backfield. It's loose. He throws it upfield. He has a reception.
Picked up about,
got the first down by the penalty, but they'll take the pass reception up to the PLU 42-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Oregon Tech trailing 36-14, 11:47 to go third quarter. Blackmore will drop straight back, rolls a little bit to his left. Now he steps up in the pocket, heaves downfield, has Airley, the receiver, open downfield. Great defensive play, stepping in front of it. Listening to us on KLAD radio. Their Oregon Tech Owls have the football right now at the 42-yard line of the Lutes. They trail it 36-14. 3 receivers left of the formation. Airley to the short side. Blackmore looking for a pass into the flat to Acuff, threw it behind him, but it was a forward pass and goes incomplete. Here for the Seattle third downs. It did not convert, I don't believe, on any of them, at least in the fourth quarter. So here we are back to action. Blackmore is back in the ball game. He sends Fuentes in motion to the near side. Here's the snap. He'll drop straight back. Getting pressure from Jolly from the backside. Down he goes. Jolly forced him out, and the tackle is made by Pete. Just seconds ago on a 4th and 1, they faked the punt and passed for the first down. I don't know if they will, on a 4th and 19, fake a punt this time around. Fritsch is back at the 20-yard line for the Lutes. Pressure on the punter, but he gets it off. Fritsch will take the catch at the 20-yard line, head up the sideline, gets by a couple of defenders, weeds his way up through the deep to the right side, the wide side of the field. The ball sitting on the hash mark left. 2 backs behind the quarterback, Weekly. Weekly with a long snap count. He'll give it first man through. This is Barber straight up the middle, following the center, Brian Flatham, and he gets up across the start for this team, who hail from Honolulu, Hawaii. 10:14 to go, third quarter. The Lutes have it 2nd down and 8. They give them a gain of 2 on the play. Again, Weekly has the team up, receivers wide right and left. It's an option, pitches back to Barnett, heads to the near sideline, across the 35, up close to the 40-yard. Speed. And they'll try it again. 3 backs will line up behind the quarterback, Weekly. Tight ends on each side tight. Weekly will fake. He's going to throw. Has a man. It's his tight end, Burton. Burton makes the catch across the 50 up to the 46-yard line.
On the money.
Oregon Tech, Pousins is only 5'9". 6-inch difference in height, as this time Barnett will come in motion through the formation to the near side. He'll hand off straight up the middle to Barber. Barber gets forward progress, maybe for a yard, then his dribble ball is resting at the Oregon Tech 46-yard line. The Lutes inside Tech territory once again. They have already scored 36 points here, all that coming in the first half of play, yet to score so far in the second half. And if we get the call by our officiating crew, they'll mark it back up into that conversation that the referee and the other officials are having at midfield, And now they have whatever the problem was straightened out. We're just about ready to go back to act. Weekly waiting for the officials to clear out. Now he gets his team up to the line of scrimmage. Under center, Brian Flatham. He'll drop straight back, rolls right, looking downfield, down the sideline, has a receiver sitting wide open. This is Burton. Burton almost gets away from the defender before he against this Oregon Tech defense. Two receivers will come wide to the left of the formation. Richardson with Barnett in a slot. Now Barnett will go in motion. Left to right, a reverse, handoff goes to the first back. They give it back to Barnett. Barnett heads upfield, gets close to the 30-yard line. They'll pick
first that time, unofficially Barnett and Barber with 40 and 39 yards apiece, both on 8 carries.
Again, two backs split behind the quarterback. Weekly will fake. He'll step up in the pocket, dumps one over the middle. We're going to get interference, or will there defensively for Oregon Tech. But that's one call that's always kind of baffled me, that they rule it not interference because it was uncatchable. The receiver was knocked down and he's on the ground. How can they rule it uncatchable? As Weekly takes a snap, drops straight back, has time. Now the pressure gets to him. He's turned around twice, 3 times, and finally he is sacked on the play way back at the punt. He'll be back at his 40 waiting for the snap. Fuentes, a busy owl here for Oregon Tech. He's back at his own 10 down to our left awaiting the punt. It's a high, short punt by Fritsch. Fuentes coming up on it. Fair catch made at the 21-yard line. That's where Oregon Tech will take. We'll get back to that poll, but right now let's get back to action with 6:20 to go here in the third quarter. 3 receivers will be wide to the right side of the field, the wide side, as Blackmore steps back, getting pressure, and it's going to be Brady out. Brady out, rides him back down to the 10, stiffen things up, and they're taking control here in the second half. And we see Robinson is still in the ball game for the Lutes as a down lineman on the defensive line. Blackmore will drop back. Now he rolls to his left. He's looking for White, or check that, Fuentes at the 10.
A timeout or something. Let's check that. We got a penalty.
The Lutes did not opt to take it. And now they'll be back looking for the pass on 3rd down and 20. Blackmore with the lone setback, Fox behind him. 3 receivers to the short side, the left side of the field. Airley to the near side. Here's a pass over the middle, complete to Fuentes. Fuentes lost the ball, but it rolled out of bounds. A fortunate break for Oregon. Wait the snap. And the snap on the way. There's the boot. Nice high kick. Here's Barnett dropping back to his own 37. Stumbles, gets on his feet, and then gets ridden down from behind. The initial Dakota is 4th in the poll. They're 3-0. Well, last week those teams were reversed. It's kind of strange to win and lose a spot in the poll, but Dickinson State out of North Dakota certainly did that last week, although they have more victories. A handoff is over the left side. A couple of injuries has cost them a few players, and the big one, we have no report officially on what happened, an ankle injury, as on the quarterback sneak during check on exactly what that injury is. We'll see. Maybe we can get some sort of official report later on. Again, another quarterback sneak. Brian Flatham, the defensive line for OIT, 6'1½", 231-pound average, and it's a 3-4 alignment for Oregon Tech as we have 1st and 10. Again, a handoff straight up the middle. This looks like Barnett on the carry. He gets up close to the 45. He'll fumbled away a punt, and in our first possession on offense, they fumbled the ball, and it was converted into 2 field goals and a quick 6-0 lead for Oregon Tech. Weekly drops back, steps up in the pocket, looks over the middle, has a completion up to the 35-yard play.
Unofficially 8-yarder. That one went for 9 yards and keeps the drive alive.
Ball resting hash mark right. Weekly with his team up. 2 backs set behind him. Wingback Richardson left of the formation. Long snap count by Weekly. Pitches to the left side. This is Asphalt. Gets some room. Heads up Meal. He's got the 20-yard line and down he goes. Move closer on running and passing plays as Barnett will line up as a receiver to the far side, the left side. Now he goes in motion. Now Weekly drops straight back. Lost one in the end zone. Ingman open off his fingertips. Wow. Incomplete. Quarter. Burton will break from the huddle. He and Richardson will both line up wide to the right side of the field. Handoff. Fumble on the play. Barnett fumbled. Flag also. Here's a question you may have the answer to. What do Lute football and Tacoma Rockets hockey have in common? Well, for game show at 6:50. The Lutes are faced with 2nd down and 20 following the holding penalty. 2 receivers to the right side. Weekly will roll to his right. Now he throws back across the grain to Barnett on the left side. Keeps his momentum going for a while. Clock continues to run as the third quarter winds down here at Spark Stadium with the Lutes leading 36-14. Richardson in motion through the formation to the far side. On the roll to the right. Here's Weekly still rolling. Now he's going to throw into the end zone. Richardson wide open. Touchdown Lutes. The hold, we assume, of Carl Hosath, who has a 2-point conversion pass to his credit. The kick is up. The kick is good. 14, Lutes on top. We'll be back. Busy kicking extra points as the ball teed up down to our right at the 35-yard line. A short kick will come down at about the 25, caught by one of the up man. It looks like, I was going to say that looked like it was Fox. It's not. And then Gureel Hudson.
15 of 20 this afternoon, 240 yards and 6 touchdowns. And Kevin Engman, 5 catches, 99 yards and a couple scores. So a big day through the air for the Lutes.
And we're coming down to the end of the third quarter. 44 seconds left here in the third period of play. And we have a new quarterback in the ball game for Oregon Tech. He throws it out to Early on the near sideline, right side.
Eva Beach is how you say that.
27 seconds and counting. The penalty moves the ball back to the 12. It's 1st and 23 for Hall and the Tech offense. He'll hand it off straight up the middle. They get across the 15 up towards the 17-yard line. They pick up about 3 periods here at Spark Stadium with our score contest. The Lutes lead it going into this final period 43-14. They are on defense right now. Oregon Tech with the football at their own 17-yard line as they are now moving right to left on the field. To start the fourth period of play, the quarterback Aaron Hall replacing Blackmore will hand it off. They'll go over the right side. They got some room down the sideline. Nice carry that time.
Good game out of that.
56 for a first down. Hall with a single setback behind him. Once again, that's Fitch. He'll send 2 receivers left of the formation with Fuentes in a slot of Wilson. Airley to the right side. Hall draws back, slant over the middle, has a receiver. Wilson caught it. He fumbled the football, but Fuentes was there to recover the ball at the 32. It's not enough. 43-14 with 13:41 to go. Fritsch waiting the punt. It's a line drive. He's going to let this one bounce. It'll go by him across the 30, and it'll roll now. Takes a upfield bounce for the Lutes to the 20. And Ben Myers. So the Lutes getting an opportunity to put some of the players in there to give them some playing time here in the fourth quarter, leading 43-14. Curley under center. 2 backs split behind him. He will pitch left side. Hudson trying to use that sprinter speed to get around the corner. Gets around one man, but he's going to lose yardage back to the 25. Travel. You can call John Pate at 535-1600. Parkland Travel, proud sponsors of Century 2 Lute football on KLAY. 2 receivers to the right side, the wide side of the formation. Back split behind the quarterback Curley. He'll do a straight drop. Looking. Now he gets pressure, and down he goes. A big hit.
Lost about.
They lose 8. It'll bring up 3rd down. 21 with 12:45 to go in the contest. 2 receivers to the right side, the wide side of the field. Curley will drop straight back again, getting pressure from Osling. Now he'll throw, has Meyer in the flat at the 15, across the 20, bowls his way across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Fritsch, who will do the punting, he's back at his own 14-yard line. Carl Hosath is the short man to protect the punter. Here's the snap, a high booming kick. Fair catch called for by Fuentes, back at his own 29-yard line. Rusty Fritsch got a hold.
Punch by Frisch on.
Send 2 receivers to the right side of the formation, the wide side of the field. Again, 1 back behind the quarterback, Hall. Hall will give it. First man through over the right side. Has some room up the middle across the 35 to the 37-yard line. In the game as a whole, as Wilson comes out of the huddle, he'll line up to the left side. Fuentes in a slot, Airley to the right side. Lone setback is Fitch behind the quarterback, Hall. He will pitch to Fitch. They'll do it on a reverse to Airley. Airley coming up. The Lutes are there. Brune, the linebacker, holds him up, and boom, the hit played on him. And I think about the reverse. They don't get much on the play. Here it is 3rd down and 6 for Oregon Tech with 2 receivers to the right side. Fuentes now in motion to the right. Hall will drop back, 2-step drop, throws over the middle, almost intercepted on the return the punt. We have not seen Ted since early in the ball game when he fumbled a couple of one a punt and one a kickoff. He'll get another opportunity here to redeem himself. He will make the catch at the 33, heads to the right side, and down he goes near the 40. A return of about 5 on the play. They'll leading score of 43-4 work. We are back to action. The Lutes have it 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Moving left to right, quarterback keeper Curley following his center, heads up field. Spelling Mark Weekly, who had a superb afternoon. 6 touchdown passes to his credit. Backs are split behind the quarterback, receivers left and right of the formation. Curley First man through, Aspfold over the left side, bangs his way forward, does a nice move to cut back. Dave Aspfold was looking for some numbers that time, and he saw where they were, and he ran inside. We are now at 9 minutes, and the clock is moving on the fourth quarter. The Lutes with the football. Two backs, Meyer, Aspfold behind the quarterback, Curley, receivers to each side of the formation. Aspfold again will go over the left side, just plows forward, picks up 3 or 4. Going to check who's at right tackle right now for the Lutes. Looks like it might be Osborne in there. Coleman had started in place of Aaron Linerud, and then Coleman got hurt, and he is out of the ball game right now. Pitch right side, Meyer. Meyer gets to pass a great block by Osborne, but then the defense closes it.
Ball carries if you include the two quarterbacks.
Aspfold and Hudson in the backfield behind a quarterback, Curley. Curley takes the snap himself. He'll head upfield. They're trying to bowl themselves forward for the first down, and let's take a look at the spot. They needed to get for the pooch kick now. He gets it off, angling for the corner, far side of the field. This one is going to bounce at about the 22. Oh. Takes an Oregon Tech bounce, heads upfield. Finally knocked out of bounds by Tech. Actually, officially only a 9-yard punt by Fritsch. And that kind of hurts his average after getting one off for 50-plus yards. But he was angling for the sideline, and you kick it a little bit differently when you're doing that rather than just booming one away. Throw over the middle, reception by Airley. The Owls of Oregon Tech in Klamath Falls. And again, our thanks to KLAD Radio down in Klamath Falls for taking this feed so that the fans of the Owls could tune in. And here's a running play by Oregon Tech, straight line of scrimmage. The Lutes with a lot of second unit players in defensively now, with this game well in hand. A 43-14 lead for Pacific Lutheran as Fuentes in motion to the near side. He headed upfield too early. I don't see a flag. They throw it over the middle. Fuentes makes the reception across the 40 to the passing yardage here late in the game, and we would term garbage time with the game well in hand for Pacific Lutheran. And he hands it out to Fitch. Fitch running hard over the right side, finds a hole, brings it up across the 31 to the 30.
The same on the scoreboard since early in the second quarter, and they're knocking right now.
Clock continues to run. We're down to 4.5 to play here in our ball game. The Lutes are going to go 2-0 as Hall drops straight back, looks down the near sideline, has Fuentes wide open at the 10, makes the catch, tries to move around one. He does, gets away, touchdown. Oh, set up for the extra point attempt. The kick is on its way, and the kick is good. Eberhardt's been perfect on the procedure penalty against the
individual day on his own.
So they'll redo the extra point tip, and this one is blocked by Robinson. They can pick it up and run it back the other way. It's picked up. Here comes Jenkins down the sidelines, pushed out of bounds at the 35. He had his sights on the end zone down at the other.
It's halfway, so it's only to the 4-yard line, but
Early will break from the huddle, and he will line up wide right to the wide side of the field. Wilson to the short side. One setback behind the quarterback. Acuff in motion, left to right. Snap. Hall drops back, looking, rolling right, looking, going to take it himself. Gets in, 2 points. 43, one more time, and we'll take 7 guys. Now they're all going to move to the left side of the kicker. Here comes the onside. It takes a couple of bounce, has to go 10 yards. Won't do it.
Look at
Brady
this.
out, picks it up. He can go for the touchdown. The 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown. Brady out. The ball never went 10 yards. Oregon Tech couldn't touch it, but Brady out could. He got a great bounce, took it, and he was gone. Point attempt for the Lutes. We'll check that number once he turns to us. It's actually Jamie Thomas, who is defensive end, Brady Yount. Point will get the opportunity to kick off. He has the ball teed up down to our left at the 35-yard line. He approaches the football. A high kick will come down at about the 15. Actually at the 20-yard line, fielded there. The return man runs into his own man at the 20 and bounces forward to the 20.
Get a couple.
1st and 10 with 4:06 to go. Receivers, 2 each, left and right of the formation. A lone setback behind the quarterback, Hall. He'll drop straight back, get some pressure up the middle. Screen pass over the middle to Airley. Airley heads upfield and then driven down into the turf at the 31-yard line. Follow at 5:06 this afternoon. We'll have the complete program for you. 3 receivers to the left of the formation. The short side of the field. One setback, and he will get the handoff. Head straight up the middle.
Hope everybody can join the Lutes in that game.
2:47. The clock continues to run. Acuff in motion to the near side. Long snap count. Option by Hall. Hall driven down into the turf. A couple of Lute lot more number 2 ranking in the NIA Division II polls. Of course, Central Washington was number 1 coming into this week. Linfield dropped after they lost to PLU to number 5. Handoff up the middle of Fitch. He bangs his way forward, and he'll be.
Game has been virtually every play, but certainly PLU's defense up front has stood tall today.
Here it is 1st and 10 with Fuentes in motion, left to right. Handoff, or check that option play by Hall. He'll keep it himself, has a hole over the left side, gets up to the 45. It's including their store at 40th and Pacific. O'Neill's features great buys on all Coca-Cola products, including Diet Coke. Just for the taste of it, Diet Coke and O'Neill's Markets. Hall will drop back. Looking, a little floater out there. Wobbly pass, but Airley, the intended receiver, incomplete to celebrate another PLU victory. Again, a small but loyal crowd across the way in the Oregon Tech stands. As Hall drops back, little draw play up the middle. Fitch has it, breaks free, gets across the 45 of Lute Tech. Hall has his team up to the line of scrimmage. Receivers left and right to each. He'll drop straight back. Looking over the middle, now down the near sideline. Has Fuente streaking toward the end zone. What a play defensively by the Lutes.
And came down and just about came up with the ball, but it fell incomplete, and it's now 2nd down.
Looking for their money man Fuentes on that play. It's the same formation for Oregon Tech with 41 seconds to go. The clock stopped with that incompletion as Hall takes a snap, drops straight back, hit as he throws, incomplete over the middle. And 2 teams in the nation in the NAIA Division II poll. Central Washington in week 1 and Pacific Lutheran in week 2. It's 3rd down and 10 as Hall will drop straight back, looks over the middle, has a receiver, but he throws it behind the intended receiver, Ricky A. 4th down and 10. 9, Lutheran Brotherhood, proud sponsors of Lute football. Ken Hartvitzing, a big fan, with 33 seconds to go. He's going to be enjoying the 2nd win of the season. A lofted pass up toward the end zone, picked off by the Lutes, back at the 8-yard line. Here they come the other way with the ball. Brad Christensen finally run down from behind. So with 22 seconds left, no doubt Carl Hoseth, the new quarterback for the Lutes, will probably just hand it off, or at least just kneel down. He's going to hand it off to Riddle. Riddle over the left side, breaking free from one, almost got away from another. Gets it up for a couple to improve their record to 2-0. We'll be back with a short recap of this afternoon.